For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, we are live and amplified. So let's get ready to podcast.
Fire it up.
Casi Joy, how's it going today?
I am so good. How are you?
Doing well. That's why we pre-record all these, so all my fumbles, nobody heard.
Yeah, what fumble?
So, yeah. But really excited to have you on, really excited to chat with you. When I got the email from, I think it was your PR person or your manager, I was like, wait a minute, is this a joke? Because I remember watching you on The Voice. This was like during the time when I actually watched The Voice, and I was like, wow, okay, cool, let's do this. So glad to have you on and chat a little bit.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So you're currently based out of Nashville, but where are you from originally?
From Kansas City, Missouri, originally.
Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I could talk to you. Oh man. Now
wait, are you not a Chiefs fan?
No, but I think it's probably. I'm a Bears.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, the first anthem I got to do for the Chiefs was against the Bears, and we didn't win.
Well, the Bears probably didn't do much better, so I don't know. But anyways, it's exciting to have you on and chat a little bit, and just kind of get to know you. So, growing up in Kansas City, what was the music scene like in Kansas City as you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I started in country music and was singing in the Midwest Opry circuit. There were a lot of classic country Opry shows around, Missouri and Kansas. So my parents would take me to all of those, any venues that would have me. And then I moved into rock music, and the Kansas City music scene is pretty heavy in rock music, and was at that time. Of course, there's, jazz and blues as well in Kansas City. But yeah, I went into rock music because it seemed like there was such a big space for rock at that time in Kansas City. And then when I moved back to country music, that's when I, went back to Nashville because there was just a lot more opportunity for country music. But the Kansas City music scene really has been ramping up a lot lately.
I think a lot, due to the pandemic, I think a lot of bigger city, I'm not going to say every city, but a lot of the bigger cities, you're starting to see more scenes come out of it because people had those year and a half, 2 years, depending on where you live, of just kind of sitting there and honing their craft and wanting to get out to play. So, I think that's really cool. And the fact that Kansas City is really starting to kind of sprout up, because I knew that it had a little bit of a rock scene. I've interviewed a few people from Kansas City that were in the more of the rock realm, but now that you're saying everything is kind of starting to spruce up a little bit more, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool to just watch Kansas City. I mean, it's always been a big city, but now it's getting to be a big city.
yeah, for sure. It's it's kind of hard for me to like Kansas City being from Chicago, but just a lot of the people that I know and a lot of the musicians out of Kansas City are really talented, and I'm glad that they're getting a spotlight and the scene is kind of building up. So at what point did you kind of start exploring the fact that you could sing, or did you realize that you could sing?
I think I fell in love with the performance part of it first. My parents let me do this talent show in my hometown when I was 5 years old, and the vocals of it weren't that great. But I just fell in love with being in front of people and impacting people and seeing, what kind of faces could I get the audience to make based on what I'm doing on this microphone. And then that's when I kind of really started honing in on the actual music aspect of it and just learning how to be a chameleon and, what other sounds can I make my voice sound like, or, can I sound like Pee Wee Herman, or can I sound like Austin Powers, or, it sounds really weird, but that's kind of how I learned to sing, was just trying to mimic other voices.
Oh, that's really cool. Who are some of the like I know you brought up like Pee Wee Herman and stuff like. Was there anybody specifically that you just got down really good trying to mimic as far as voice?
Yeah, Leanne Rhymes
Okay,
was that one, and Patsy Cline. I really honed in on my impressions there.
nice. And would you say, like, obviously you're using the phrase impressions, but would you say they're more influences now, or was yeah,
Yeah, and it took a long time to figure out, like, since that was the way that I learned how to sing, it took a long time to figure out what is my voice
yeah,
when I'm not being a chameleon. And when I started writing and releasing my own original music, that's when I found, my actual own tone of voice and writing style and all that. But
yeah,
yeah, those vocal influences are definitely still there. I've got all these weird little yodeling tendencies
yeah,
that like
yep.
they're habitual now at this point. It's not something I'm choosing to do, but
That was the first. That was one of the vivid memories I had of your time on The Voice was during your audition. They cut to a shot of Alicia Keys when you're hitting like a yodel part, and she just has like this stink face on her. It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of it's her reaction is funny, but the yodel was really good. So,
Yeah, thank you.
um, so you mentioned that you felt kind of like a chameleon and you were trying to find you're struggling to kind of find your own voice. Do you think the voice, the show, helped you find your own voice, or do you think it kind of reinforced your more chameleon habits?
I The voice definitely does a great job of helping you hone in on who are you as an
Mm,
artist. Because I used to go into those auditions, years ago, like I'm country and pop and rock and I'll do
yeah,
hip hop and I'll do this and that and I'm all the things.
yeah,
And they do a great job of like, no, you're not. Let's find what your, where's your niche at? Niche, however you say the
yeah.
word. And yeah, they really help you hone in on like what is your brand as an artist. And that really helped me with figuring out where I was going to go musically after the show too.
Yeah, for sure. And so before were you releasing original music before or after you went on The Voice?
Yeah, I released a couple singles in like 2012, I
Mhm.
think, and then released an EP called Love on Repeat
Mm,
in 2015, I think,
yeah,
and then shortly after that was the whole Voice
gotcha.
conglomerate.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like it's I can go off the seasons, but I don't really remember what year that is because they
I
did so. At one point, they were doing so many or seasons of The Voice in a year. And it's like, okay, I don't really remember what year that is, but
Yeah, it's crazy during filming because by the time you get to the live rounds,
Hmm,
the coaches had already been there all day doing blind auditions for
yeah,
the next season. So yeah, they move so fast.
wow, that's crazy. That is really crazy. Um, so kind of moving forward now, you just released an album in March, I believe it was, which is what a lot of the music that we're playing today is featured off of, including Hey Dad, which you just released a music video for on Friday. What's the story behind Hey Dad?
Hey Dad is obviously written for my dad. I had been wanting to write him a song for his birthday for years, and I just kept, not having the courage or I didn't know what to say. And it seemed like I had like too much to say that I couldn't, fit it into
Mm,
a song. And last year for his birthday, I finally, thought about it ahead of time and planned this co-write with my friend Deanna Walker. And I said, you got to help me write this Hey Dad song. It's too big for my own brain and I will just ramble and ramble. It'll be like a Hotel California by the time I'm done with it. But I just wanted it to be about all of our special memories that we've had together. And it almost takes a little bit of a bittersweet tone to it because I'm so grateful that we have those memories, but watching like these home videos again for the
mm.
music video, it was kind of heartbreaking because like I wish I could go back and relive those moments or be a little bit more grateful than maybe I was at that time. But yeah, I'm really proud of how the song turned out.
Yeah, it's a really good song, and the music. I got watched the music video before you jumped on because as we're recording this, it was just released a couple of hours ago, and so I had the opportunity to watch it a little bit, and it's a really amazing music video. Was that something you knew right away that you wanted to do? Was make the music video for this song?
Yeah, this was one that I absolutely knew we have to do a video for this. And I thought I was like, it's gonna be all of this home footage and we'll get like, my dad probably like catching me off a swing or he's chasing me and we're playing and stuff. And my mom and I go through all of our home videos, all the VHS tapes and all that. And we're realizing, oh my gosh, my dad is never once in any of these videos because he was always the one holding the camera, unless he found a mirror and then he was always waving in the mirror.
Yep.
But so I kind of had to change my idea for this video to, well, now it's not my dad in the video. It's kind of seeing my own childhood through my
Mm,
dad's eyes and through this camera lens. And it almost made it more emotional for
yeah.
me just to like, while I was editing this video, just seeing what my dad saw and
Mm,
like the things that I would do that made him want to zoom the camera in. And it was just,
yeah.
just gives my heart a little hug.
Yeah. I think that's every dad though. Like you go back and watch those home videos and it's like, oh, dad's not in any of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
And
great
nowadays the mom is never in the pictures because now we're to cell phones and it's all selfies and all
yeah.
that.
Yeah, for sure. But it's a great music video. I really enjoy it. Enjoyed watching it, and I'm gonna have to go back because it's one of those things. Music videos for me, I have to watch like 3 or 4 times before it all just like really clicks. Which works great for the views, but
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah. But this was released under or with your last album, which was released in March. How long was the album in general? How long did that process kind of take to come together?
Who? Um, like 2 years, I
Okay.
think.
Was it a pandemic project? Did it start off as kind of like a pandemic project?
It did kind of, yeah. I actually wasn't planning on putting out an album. It's just seemed like with the music industry lately, people want, the shortest song that's ever lived,
Mm,
TikTok Live,
yeah.
and just keep releasing singles back to back and stay, in front of people's faces.
Mm,
Um, and so I had been releasing all these singles like The Money, Namaste,
mm,
Census Fail, which are now on the album. But when I went to go and write Under the Hood with Lauren Tauber and Justin Klump, we wrote the pre-chorus line to Under the Hood of Miles and Maybes, Skylines Changing, but she ain't broke. And when we wrote the Miles and Maybes part, I was like, whoo, there has never been a better title to my life story. And now I got the itch to make it a full-length album. And so got to writing with that, keeping that all in mind and then Miles and Maybes was born.
yeah. Where does the title Miles and Maybe come from?
For me it kind of represents life and
Hmm.
how, we travel so many miles through life and over all these hills and ups and downs and we're doing it all on the promise of maybes.
Mm,
But the maybes for me represent hope and it's that hope that keeps you traveling these unknown miles and all those ups and downs that come with life.
fair, very fair. So kind of moving into the summer now. Obviously, it's mid-June and we're like well into the summer here. What's kind of your plan as we head into July and all that stuff? Are you playing shows frequently, or what's kind of your plans?
Yeah, I've got a ton of tour dates on my website at cassiejoy.com. Um, can't wait to get back into the Joyride, our bus, and just go wherever the music takes us. Can't wait to meet a bunch of people and take all the selfies and yeah, be playing the album out live. Yeah, just super excited for the summer.
Awesome. Yeah, summer's a good time. It's actually going to be like the first summer that I can get out and go to like live shows and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to, just get out and do more things because last couple of summers haven't been possible for me. So yeah.
Yeah,
Uh
it's like things are finally back to normal.
yep. I feel like we've been saying that a lot though. A
I
lot.
know.
It's but yeah, I think this year is actually true. So um one thing that we like to do on everything that Live and Amplified does is we like to pass on knowledge to younger musicians. So, what's a piece of knowledge or an anecdote or something that you'd like to pass on to the younger generation of musicians out there?
Hmm. Here is a quote that I have been living by from my bro, Tupac. I heard this quote a few years ago, and I always repeat it to myself every time that I'm going to a show or I'm, nervous before going on stage. And it is do what got you invited.
Yes.
And I just love that quote. It's so simple, but it's like, you got invited to play this gig. Do what got you invited. They already knew what they were hoping to get. Get out there and do it.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
I was honestly waiting for you to say what's the quote from the Triple X sequel? Wars come and go, but my soldiers stay eternal, which is another Tupac quote that gets thrown around a lot. I was waiting for you to pull that one out, and I would have been like, but no, it's just being authentically you it's what got you invited to the dance. So keep going, right?
Yep.
Keep playing that harmonica, just play that tune.
Yep.
And I 100% agree. So for anybody that wants to check out your music or anything else you got going on, or just interact with you on social media, where's the best place to find you?
You can go to any of the platforms at Casi Joy Music. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of the places. And yeah, I'll always be oversharing, overposting. If you want to see just how weird I can get, go to TikTok. And yeah.
Fair. And then just because we have an extra second here, we have a fun little game that we like to play. It's called That's So Random. And I have a random question generator, and I'm going to just ask you one random question from the random question generator. In your opinion, what is something that could be used for both good and evil?
Social media.
Fair. Very fair.
Boom.
Right on it. You didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm horrible at random questions. Like my brain goes blank, but that one was like,
Yep. It came right out, so it had to be true. So that's the way I look at it. But once again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's been an absolute blast chatting with you.